Now for this last drill, we're gonna need our stick. So this is where our stick comes in. We're gonna hit a little bit of rotation work here. So what this is gonna look like is actually, you know what, I'll do my right side first. I'm gonna have my stick out in front of me, okay? And I'm not gonna have my hand at shoulder height. I'm actually gonna take my hand and move it down so that it's angled downwards a little bit. So my arm is kind of down on a bit of an angle. My other arm is gonna be doing the exact same thing behind me. So I'm not way up here, I'm not way down here. I'm off like 20-ish degrees again. Almost like if you were a power walking, basically where your hands would end up if you were power walking. Now what we're gonna work on here is rotation. So do make sure that you're not super extended like this when you're doing this for the same reason that we discussed at the start of this class. And instead, relax. Give yourself a good exhale. See if you can sink that sternum back a little bit, just like we worked on again in some of those other exercises. And so you're gonna feel, for those of you that are used to being very extended, you might even feel a little bit slouchy. It's okay, all right? Just exhale, let that sternum fall back, kind of reach your right arm away from you a little bit, and that'll help kind of unlock our thoracic spine so that we're more free to capture some rotation here. Now what's gonna happen here is that as we incorporate a little bit of breathing, we're gonna see if we can get our rib cage rotating to the left. So I'm gonna try and get my sternum pointed towards you guys on the camera. The way that I'm gonna do that is, like I said before, I'm gonna have my stick, I'm gonna reach away from me a little bit, my sternum comes back, my other arm's gonna be back behind me. When I take a nice slow inhale, I'm gonna gently pull my left shoulder blade into my spine. Not bringing it up to my ear, I'm just gently bringing it into my spine. When I exhale, I'm gonna try and make that stick tip away from me by reaching my shoulder blade on the right side away. And as I do that, that's gonna cause my sternum to rotate left, i.e. cause my rib cage and my thoracic spine to rotate left. I'll get as much rotation as I can on that exhale. Then I'm gonna stay there, and as I inhale, I'm gonna try and pull my left shoulder blade a little bit closer to my spine. Then I'm gonna exhale, see if I can capture a little bit more rotation, and breath by breath, I'm gonna work my way over to the left side. You might get some cramping here. Fair warning. Again, you might have just unlocked some rotation in your rib cage. You might be able to access more rotation now than you could an hour ago. Your muscles might not used to be working in these positions. Some of these muscles on the back side as you gently pull that shoulder blade into the spine. This might be a new thing for them, so just expect it. Don't freak out if you get it. Just try and nice and slowly breathe through it. Don't tense up too much in the process. Don't try and force it, but just take note of these things. If it's new to you, you might get some of that. If you're quite stiff, you might get some of that, and it's okay. So first things first, join me here. We've got our stick, arms are low, left hand's behind us. We're gonna exhale, just let that sternum sink back, reach that stick away slightly. There we go, now we're relatively unlocked. As we slowly inhale, we're gonna pull our left shoulder blade into our spine. Notice how my hand's not going higher necessarily, I'm just bringing my left shoulder blade back. When I exhale, I'm gonna reach through my right arm, get my right shoulder blade to move away from my spine. Stick leans forward a little bit more. Slow inhale, left shoulder blade comes into that spine a little more. Exhale, reach through that right arm. Notice how my sternum is starting to point a little bit closer towards you. Slow inhale, left shoulder blade comes into the spine a little more. As we exhale, we reach through that right arm. Notice how the stick is now run into the box because I'm really reaching with it. Slow inhale, left shoulder blade into the spine. And exhale, reach. Now my sternum is pointing off this way, whereas when I started, it was pointing straight ahead. Now we're gonna switch, we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Let me give you guys a front view on this one. So, sticks out in front, arms not up at shoulder height, we're down on a bit of an angle. Same thing with our arm behind us, which is now our right arm. We're back, we're not way up here, we're not right into our hip, but we're off behind us a little bit, 15, 20 degrees, or if you imagine yourself power walking, basically where that arm would end up if you were power walking. We're gonna start with a good exhale and just reaching our left arm away from us, trying to get our sternum to go back. Unlock that rib cage for us so that we're now free to rotate. Nice slow inhale, pull your right shoulder blade into your spine. And then as we exhale, we reach that left arm away from us. Shoulder blade on the left side moves away from the spine. Slowly inhale, right shoulder blade moves into the spine. Now if you just pay attention to my sternum, when I exhale and reach, rotates off to that right side a little bit more. Stay there. Nice slow inhale, right shoulder blade finds its way towards the spine a little closer. And when I exhale, I'm going to reach that left shoulder blade away. And now my sternum's pointing off this way. So I've captured some rotation along the way. So that's another drill that you can play with to start to get yourself getting some rotation in there, getting those shoulder blades moving, unlocking your thoracic spine so that it's free to rotate as well, and getting that nice big stretch between your shoulder blade and your spine, and just kind of pumping some air to different sections of your rib cage.